What's up, YouTube? If you don't know me, my name is Brent Sibley. I am the Miami Lawyer Daddy, and I own and operate a AI-based law firm in Miami. I've been making about $1 million a year for the last 15 years. I'm a successful family man, happy wife, great kids, and I'm on a new journey. I'm rebuilding my law firm from the ground up using AI, coming back from a failed merger where I took my firm and completely fucked it up and gave away everything in a fucked up merger acquisition. And I'm coming back from 3 spine surgeries to lose roughly 70, 80 pounds in order to get to the best shape of my life completely naturally. So that's who I am. The point of this video is to talk about what is truth. What is truth? What is true? And I'm going to tell you guys today about this concept that there really is no such thing as truth. Now, and this is going to be very, very helpful to you especially for young men, as you embark on your journey of self-creation and building your own reality. What do I mean by there is no truth? There's a few things that are universally true. 2 + 2 is 4. Gravity exists. The world is round. If you don't drink water, you will die eventually. The list of things that are universally true is very short, especially in comparison when you think about all the other things that primarily happen in your mind. All of the things that you have to think about on a day-to-day basis. Should you quit your job? Should you start this business? Should you go keto? Should you use peptides? The list goes on and on and on. And there's 2 main things that I want to go over. The first is that every single thing you see on the internet, or especially on TV, the person speaking to you has an agenda. Now, some people are much, much better at hiding their agenda or making it not so clear as to what their agenda is. Some people will straight up tell you their agenda, and then there are some people in between where you're not really sure what they're trying to sell you, but you, as a young man, need to realize that everybody that you speak to, and this doesn't just apply to people on the internet or TV, even the people that you speak to in your life, they all have an agenda. They all are trying to get you to do something or behave in a certain way that benefits them, with very, very few exceptions. So that's the first thing to realize. And the second thing to realize, and you can only realize this after you realize that, you have to create your own truth. What do I mean? Well, your truth and your path forward is only going to apply to you. You might have watched a video about how keto is the best diet for you. 2 seconds later, you watch a video about how carbs are so important and you can never really build muscle unless you're eating carbs 5 times a day. Who knows? There's things in both videos that are completely at odds with each other. Your job as you navigate the world is to listen to all these different things, also figure out when not to listen to something at all, when to completely block somebody or some channel or some account out of your life because you are convinced that their information falls below a certain threshold, that it's not helping you anymore. But your job is to aggregate all of the different information that's coming to you, with all of the bias that all these people have and all the angles and all the selling that they're doing, and take it all in and create your truth, create your business, create your body, create your diet that is your truth. Nobody can create it for you. And if you think that you can watch one specific video or read one book that's going to give you the truth or the method, then you have failed yourself, and you will not be able to truly make progress until you find your way forward. Think about that for a few minutes and realize that the person that you can be, that you want to be, can only be achieved by creating your own truth and following that truth to the finish line. It's also a very important thing to be alone on your search for the truth. You can have friends, you can talk about certain things, but when it comes to the highest level of your truth, be very careful with who you share your truth with, especially when it's still in the building phase. When you're discovering a new truth, whether it's, like I said, diet, business related, faith related, relationship related, when you are building a new truth for yourself, some people might call it the identity. When you're building your new truth or your new identity in a certain area, most of the time, if you bring somebody else into your internal discussion about the truth, it's going to crumble, it's going to fall apart, and you're going to be back to the drawing board. And you're probably going to have to experience this a few times before you can actually make progress and build your truth on your own. So, think about that concept before you start to share your truth with outsiders. And be careful. The closer the person is to you, the more damage they can do to any truth. I don't know why this is true. I mean, I can think about it, but it's true. Close family members can do more damage to your truth that you're building for yourself than anybody else. And vice versa. Strangers can actually help you more than you might think. I don't want to go on for too long, but I do want to finish the video by telling you that this has worked for me. A perfect example is when I was having my third spine surgery and my first spine surgery. I'm a personal injury lawyer, so I have access to many very good doctors in the Miami area, one of the top cities in the country for spine surgeries. I saw 5 different surgeons, and each surgeon recommended a different procedure to me. Each one looked me in the eyes and said, "This is the surgery that you need to fix your back." And each of the 5 surgeons recommended a different type of surgery for my back. What does that teach you? What does that tell you about my story? Think about that for a few minutes. Everybody has their own agenda. Everybody has their own truth. Not everybody's evil. Some people certainly are evil. Some people certainly are not evil. There's a big spectrum in between. Your job is to figure out where the information is on the spectrum and process it in your own way. See you guys in the next one.